Need a game? I've got an idea. A really quick and simple to play game that includes your whole group and nobody gets eliminated, which is a big deal to me, is a murder mystery game. I think one of the big risks in youth group games is that we focus on one style of game too much. Too much running all the time, or too much sitting all the time. And so there's kind of this need to diversify the styles of games we play. I love the murder mystery game because it requires the youth to kind of engage their brains and be a bit strategic. Here's how we play it. Firstly, this game requires a little bit of prep in the head times. So I have to sit down on my Microsoft Word and I make up a list, and I make it up with 5 categories of the mysteries, kind of like the game Clue, where it has 3 categories. I make up 5 categories. Category 1, the murderer. Category 2, the victim. Category 3, the weapon. Category 4, the location in which the murder went down. And category 5 is what time the murder happened. So now before youth group begins, or before the game happens, I gotta go find 5 of my leaders, and each one is assigned one of the categories, and I give them the correct answer for that category. Then when it's time for the game to be played, I send all my leaders out of the room and then go find places to be. These guys are the witnesses to the crime. The goal of the game is simple. The youth want to try to discover the answer to these 5 categories. Who is the murderer? Who's the victim? What weapon did they use? Where did it happen and at what time? If the first team to discover all 5 answers wins the game. Here's how it works. So I have the youth break up into teams of 5 or 6, and I send them out to go talk to the witnesses to find the answers to the puzzle. But there's some rules here that really are important to make the game 1, long-lasting, and 2, fair, and 3, fun. So the rules matter here, and they're simple, but they're important. Rule number 1, your team must always stick together. So if you go to talk to a witness, your whole team has to be present. You cannot split up to talk to multiple witnesses at once. Rule number 2, if there's a team already talking to a witness that you want to talk to, you must wait, and you must stand back 5 big steps. Otherwise, the problem is you'll overhear what that witness gives for a clue, and that can cause all kinds of problems in terms of getting good information or bad information, or information that you shouldn't really have. It unbalances the game. On the part of your leaders, you can kind of prep them ahead of time to be aware of other groups listening in, and instead of speaking answers, they could always just point yes, nod yes or no. Rule number 3, students can only ask yes or no questions. So the questions need to be things like, was Mary the murderer? And the leader would say yes or no. Now, if the leader doesn't know that category, if they're the leader who knows stuff about the place that it happened and they're asking for the murderer, then their answer should be, I don't know. Because they only know one thing, so they have to I don't know to anything else. So the game's really simple. They're going to answer yes, no, or I don't know. The students need to pinpoint which witness knows which categories, and then ask the correct answer or correct questions until they get the right answer from each of those witnesses. So that brings us to rule number 4, and this is the final rule. After asking a witness a question, the witness will no longer talk to that group for at least a minute. And so the group needs to leave and go talk to another witness before coming back to that witness to ask them another question. In other words, they cannot bombard one witness with questions until they get the right answer. It's one question and move on. Alright, so that's basically how the murder mystery works. It's a super fun game. It works great in kind of any sort of setting. The more space you have, the better, because you can have your witnesses really spread out. It's a fun one to do. I like to do it right at the beginning of the school year. When the youth are all just kind of getting to know each other. It's a great way for them to kind of work together. We're able to use the outdoors because, well, in Canada, most of the year we're covered in snow. But at the beginning of the school year and the end of the school year, we get to do all of our outdoor activities. So I tend to do this one as a full property game. There's all kinds of fun ways you can get in this game to kind of go the next level. You can get leaders who are really athletic to run away. They're witnesses who are too scared to tell their story, so they run away from the students every chance they get, and so that makes them harder to catch. I like to have a really long list of times, which are really, really long. Some fun stuff you can do if you really want to, and I've done this a few times, is hidden other clues beside the witnesses, other than the witnesses, around the church. For example, I once took all the batteries out of all the clocks in our church and set them all to the time of the murder. I didn't tell anybody, I just did it. And only one team actually caught on, and then they changed the times on 2 of the clocks just to mess with anyone else who might have caught on to that, which is kind of a neat little side thing. So there's lots of cool things you can do for this game, lots of little variations. You can even add in a 6th and 7th category if you feel like you need to, though I find that 5 is lots. Anyways, I hope you have fun with that game. Let me know how it goes if you use it. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to have a conversation about that. I'd love opportunities to improve on my games. Have a great time with your youth, and we'll see you next time.